everyone, it's your boy Jersey Boy. We're back. I'm getting into an old classic that I played before, but I really want to jump back on and just get some recorded content for because I really loved it so much. So today we're playing Shadow of Mordor, and I have the Game of the Year edition here. I'm going to follow up this series with Shadow of War as well because I really love this so much. So I'm trying to just really take a look at what are the next couple games that I'm going to be playing. To be honest, I haven't really kept up to date on some of the newer stuff, so I'll be seeing what's out there that might be really interesting to bring to you guys. But outside of that, I'll just look at kind of my stable of games that I have so far. I know I've had some stuff that was pretty intriguing in terms of the outcome of how people are playing it. So we have Resident Evil Biohazard here. I do have Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which actually when I bought my PS4 came with it, and I just never ended up really touching it. I've had a Witcher game before that I played just a little bit, so I'm kind of aware of what it is, but I haven't really been too familiar with the lore or the series or anything like that until I actually got into the Netflix series. So that would be fun to jump back into as well. And I also have some 4v1 type stuff like Evolve, and maybe I can take a look at Predator's Hunting Ground as well. So if you guys have recommendations, definitely feel free to let me know. But with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and try to keep these relatively short. We'll run through the story and things, of course, and then we'll see about maybe some post-game content. Let's go ahead and check it out. So we are going to jump into story mode, but we do have some other things here. So we have some skins we can change into. We have the Nemesis Forge. So forge your Nemesis, return to Mordor, and use the Nemesis System to forge your ultimate Nemesis and your greatest follower. So basically another round of our best orcs versus theirs, which the evolution of Shadow of War really took that to another level. Trials of War, so we kill Uruk captains and war chiefs and open it a challenge, and instead of earning experience, it looks like we get points that give us a score, and based on those scores we probably get rewards. If not, as it mentions though, we do get ranked at some point on a leaderboard. We have the Bright Lord, so we can play as Celebrimbor throughout the entirety of the story, and when it looks like we get the Might of One Ring and challenge Sauron's claim to Mordor as well, so kind of a twist on the story. And then Lord of the Hunt, so play the Lord of the Hunt campaign. I can join Torvin and we can just take down armies of Beastmaster war chiefs that have been invading in. And then of course we have the normal story. So just to show you guys some of the skins, we have Talion normal. We have the Power of Shadow, which will be one of the enemies that we see in the game. We have the Lord of the Hunt, so me as a Beastmaster or Beast Hunter if you will. I have the Bright Lord skin, so this is our alter ego of sorts. Lethariel, another playable character that we'll meet in the game. We have the Captain of the Watch, which you'll find out as the story progresses what that is about. And then we have the Dark Ranger, so you don't want to fall into the hands of the dark side. You end up getting a little creepy looking and things, but I think it would probably be fun to potentially switch his skin up. I do really like this Lord of the Hunt. I have a really big thing for like wolves, anything wolf-esque in nature, so that's pretty cool. I think we'll use that as the skin for now. If you guys don't like it or anything, just let me know. We'll switch it up for sure. But with that said, let's jump into the story mode.
In the land of Mordor, where the shadows lie. It was here, on the slopes of Mount Doom, that the Dark Lord Sauron was defeated by a last alliance of men and elves. It is here that for 2,500 years the Rangers of Gondor stood watch, guarding against a nameless threat they had all but forgotten. And while the strength of Gondor faded, the power and malice of Sauron grew in darkness. He has returned to Mordor. Shadow and flame have fallen on the Black Gate, can stand in its path.
That is a perfect swing for killing chicken. Wouldn't want to hurt you. It'll take a lot more than that. Dear Hyle, the mighty chicken killer. Come on. Come on. Show your father what you have, huh?
You'll have to hit harder if you want to best your father.
Hard enough?
Parry, son. Don't forget to block.
Perhaps you should not forget to hit.
Stay alert, dear Hyle. Your enemy will not always be as he appears.
The beginning of this game is always funny to me because it's you basically just beating up your son.
You're not a soldier yet.
Obviously, they got to show us the fighting mechanics and stuff, but. Alright, bitch slapping orc. The executions on this game are awesome as well.
Dear Hyle, remember your training! Stand fast, dear Hyle!
This is one of the better parts of the game I love. The combat is pretty seamless, so you might have an army if you're one of those people that kind of just like jump into a game and don't really worry about any stealth aspects or something, where you're surrounded by 7, 8, 9, 10 plus orcs and you can just parry, and of course fighting 10 people is not going to be super realistic, but still.
Go find your mother. Keep her safe. I'll be right behind you. Go. Am I dead? You are banished from death.
Looks like we're having some flashbacks here. Right, a little stealth romance.
Talion, this is beautiful. Where did you find it?
I still have a few friends left in Gondor.
Did you talk to my father?
Yes, I did. And nothing has changed. He's still very stubborn.
I say we go anyway.
I will not come willingly.
There must be a better life than this.
Not now. But soon.
I'm just so tired of hiding here, Talion.
Shh. We must hide now, or we are both dead. Come on.
We should have left when we had the chance.
Don't move. I'll clear a path. I'm outnumbered. Stealth is my only advantage.
Stop feasting! We must return to battle!
Alright, so obviously they're gonna make this easy, but that would have really sucked if something were to happen because his wife is unprotected.
Put the sword down, Ranger.
He looks pretty badass.
The Black Hand wants him alive! Take her!
He will live.
Alright. This guy really has a thing against him.
Father! I'm right here, son. I'm right here. You're
We'll be together, my love. Soon. Forever.
Come back to me, Elf Lord.
Wow, so they weren't even doing all that just to like punish them or take over the little fortress or keep that they had. They were doing all this just to summon somebody.
See for yourself. Now do you believe me, Ranger?
What has happened to me?
You are banished from death. Cast adrift between the worlds of light and dark. Curse binds us together within the walls of Ardar.
If what you say is true, then how do we break this curse?
We find the one who cast it on us. The Black Hand of Sauron.
Alright, so we got a big task ahead of us. If you didn't know, what I loved about this game and what made this really stand out the year it got a release is the game mechanics are built on you actually dying. Like there's a progression to it, so when you die it's not useless, it's not like you're losing everything or a bunch of experience and things like that. You die, and basically like orcs you've encountered and different elements in the story progress around you, and that kind of helps build you up in your development as
Father,
well.
if you turn my love in, I shall swear I killed Lord Asgon when he attacked me. We shall both sacrifice our lives to Gondor.
Alright, we got my boy all wolfed out. So this is our alter ego. It says reforge here. So basically what you do is you pretty much claim like one of these towers, and then you can use it to help like fast travel to places, and just make traveling around a whole lot easier for you, because the map is pretty large, all things considered. And there's actually 2 or 3 different areas that you're going to. Not like you see here where certain areas are grayed and blued out, but an entirely different map with another story element for us to complete. And then as you can see, it mentions there's a bunch of different missions, side missions, there's like little collectibles and stuff you can do. The currency of choice in this game is a Mirian. So when you see stuff like that, it's little bits of money for us to collect, or different story elements that'll help us earn those. And those will be used to help us upgrade our skills and things. Alright, and then we have our Power Ranger leap off the edge.
So, we missed one of you at Narcos, eh? An easy mistake to fix.
Now this was really cool. So you seen like the little entrance thing here. I've never seen any of the orcs, and this is like a challenge for us. So you can charge it, which will do max damage, and of course headshots, and pretty much anything will usually do a good deal of damage for you. Do some hand-to-hand combat here. Boom. And let's just throw him off the edge. Boom. Pretty much an instant kill. Now this is part of Celebrimbor's power that we use, which will definitely progress and continually become important for us as the game goes on. So let's grab him, as it mentions, and we're going to interrogate him so we can get some information out of him.
What do you know of the Black Hand of Sauron?
He is a fiend, made of thin air.
What more?
A slave I had swears he fought him. I sold him for a keg of grog to Gimu the slaver.
Alright, and this is part of the Nemesis System, so there's tiers to it. As you can see, these are the captains of Sauron's army, so they appear as shadows because of course we haven't met them yet, or we haven't gotten any intel or information about who they are and what they might be. So by interrogating enemies, as we just did, this is how we reveal the identity. So let's go ahead and show you one of them now. This is Gimu the Slayer. Now, Slaver. I was kind of mentioning before, you've seen the little introduction, so when you run into these captains or higher level orcs, that's kind of how you'll be introduced to them. And it's really cool because I haven't heard like a repeat of anybody's introductions necessarily, and then each one of these might have a different personality or like attribute or job title associated with him. So in this case, he's a slaver. Another one might be like an assassin, and so forth and so on. So also he has a power, and of course they'll just say like veteran captain, or if they're new or more tenured or legendary, things like that. So the power rating pretty much determines how difficult it's going to be if we were to face them currently. And we can see him on a map. So his motive is hoping the slave tries to escape soon. He wants to make an example out of somebody, and all of these orcs want to progress through the ranks, so they're doing little missions and pretty much whatever they can, taking out other orcs secretly or just outright in the open, challenge duels and all that kind of stuff, so they can continue to increase and become a bodyguard, which is basically like the right hand man for Sauron himself. So
That is where we have to go.
if one can trust an orc.
Trust has nothing to do with it. His thoughts cannot lie.
Alright, so not best friends starting off, obviously. He's stuck with a wraith, which is basically like an undead spirit, and now he has to try to utilize his powers and figure out how he can unattach from him, which, whether he knows it or not, means he will end up dying. It's the only thing that's keeping him alive currently. So tutorial wise, the gold icons are going to help us get through the story further. The red icons are going to be the power struggles, so this is where we can wipe out some of those Uruk captains and gain new abilities or new perks and stuff like that. And then the white icons are all the side missions and things that we were talking about. So there's a couple different main ones. We have the Slaver, which is where we can go to meet the Uruk that we just got information about, and then we have the Spirit of Mordor, where we can start getting a little bit further into the actual story itself, in terms of what's happening, what they want to do about the army that's actually coming, and all that kind of stuff. So I think at this point I want to keep the first video light. This would be a good point for us to go ahead and stop, but I would definitely appreciate and love any likes and comments that you guys provide for us. I'm definitely always in favor of feedback of any kind that you guys have. You can see our boys all wolfed out, so we'll be doing some beastly like things, pun intended, for the next video. But let me know definitely as well if you want to see a particular mission or anything like that. We'll kind of be doing this a little bit random. I just don't want to immediately go through trying to run through the entire game. We will try to definitely get our skills up, and we'll see what we want to do when we ultimately get in control of figuring out which captains and stuff we want to take over as we get further into the game, and you guys find out about that. But it's been a pleasure. You guys, it's your boy Jersey Boy. Peace.